We've all read the history books and been inspired by the countless individuals who have come before us and revolutionized the way life is managed. Revolutions take strength. They are not for the weak of heart, but the reward and benefit of fighting for what you believe brings freedom to your heart and to your mind. I'm encouraging you to pursue a revolution of your own. Only this battle will be fought and won in your mind. In far too many instances, your imagination, your brain, your will, and your emotions have become the playground for the dark energy that seeks to rule and disable your ability to choose and live with freedom. The cerebral landscape of your mind needs to be fully and capably in your hands. So sit back and let me present my defense. It's time for a revolution of the intellect, because living in mass delusion and confusion is not an option. And freedom, it's your birthright. A single thought is believed to look like a tree with 70,000 branches. Every time you rethink a thought, you grow more branches on that tree. So a strong thought has had lots of repetition in your mind to become a stable thought. And this principle applies to a thought whether it is a positive or negative one in nature. On average, we experience 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day, and 98% of them you thought yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Doesn't say much for our creative ability, does it? Here's another statistic that should lift your eyebrows. 70 to 80% of all thoughts are negative. Research shows that a fear thought can trigger more than 1,400 physical and chemical responses and 30 different hormones and neurotransmitters. 6 seconds of negative thought takes the immune system 21 hours to recover from. Tell me, when was the last time you had just 6 seconds of negative thought? 87% of illnesses can be attributed to our thought life. Studies conclusively link chronic disease to toxic emotions. These emotions can cause migraines, hypertension, strokes, cancer, skin problems, diabetes, infections, and allergies. The emotions that release chemicals that are the most damaging to the body are unforgiveness, anger, rage, resentment, depression, worry, anxiety, frustration, fear, excessive grief, and guilt. So how stable or strong a thought tree becomes depends on the degree of repetition and replay in your mind. Now, during the night, our brain has a cleansing system that washes away 35 to 75% of all of the information that we take in. It will clean away those branches that are not stable. The information is not terminated, as we are left with a level of awareness, but we are unable to recall specific information. Now let me broaden your understanding a little further on the subject of negative thought and its consequences. A person who is heavily invested into self-hatred has a working recipe created from varying hormones in the hypothalamus. Look at the hypothalamus like the mixing bowl for your emotions. And also note that you have the control to choose whatever the recipe the brain is going to prepare. The creation of these recipes are no accident. You, your brain, and your will are the government that oversees and runs these little countries, which are your cells. The hypothalamus transports this hormonal mixture over to the pituitary gland, and then your toxic little recipe is distributed out into the bloodstream. Once this lethal compound is launched, your cells come under immediate fire with harmful biological arrows intended to wound your physiology. These nasty little darts of destruction connect with millions of receptors located on the surface of your cells, and once they are locked into place, the environment of the cell changes instantly. In fact, so significant is the change that when the cells divide and reproduce, the cells replicate the same type of cell with self-hatred intact. So what's the big deal? You've got millions of cell receptors, and if a few thousand of them are allocated to self-hatred, isn't there enough receptors to go around? Well, actually there isn't. When receptors are clogged with deadly information, It prevents the cell from receiving vital and necessary nutrients like vitamins or minerals, because those receptors were created for another purpose. The cell really only needs 6 things to be vital and healthy: clean water, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, essential fats, and of course oxygen. Your cells are pretty happy little guys as long as they receive the crucial elements for survival. But in the absence of the Super 6, the cells begin to malfunction, and if enough cells are allowed to malfunction, this is the foothold for disease to creep in. Dr. Caroline Leaf believes that in as little as 4 days of changing your thinking, you can begin to significantly change the structure of your cluster of trees. And we do this by having a plan to revolutionize the way that we habitually think.
Revolution.